Hey there, everybody. Of course, you know who this is. This is Candice Buchanan. And welcome to my interview with the lovely Guenet Roberts. She is the chief head cook and buckle washer, as we say in Jamaica, of Carnival in Orlando Carnival Downtown, to be exact. She's given her whole life to Carnival, and we couldn't have a better person to give us what's going down for Orlando Carnival OCD 2025. Welcome to the show. Good night. How you doing?
I am in the last couple of days. I am running on enthusiasm and just ready to get it done. But we're excited. We're excited about this year.
So last year was fantastic. We actually went live on air last year, and people really enjoyed what they were hearing, but also seeing from the OCD team. And you've certainly built something really phenomenal here in Orlando in the way that you have infiltrated the mainstream Orlando audience with our Caribbean culture. And I'm talking from the legislature all the way down. Guenet, how do you do it?
I start with first. This is an Orlando festival. And when folks hear me say it, sometimes people don't understand. But what I'm saying is it's for us here as Caribbean diaspora and our friends who live in Orlando. So it's not just a Caribbean festival where we're holding on to everything like back home. We listen to everything here. We don't just listen to groovy soca. We don't just listen to chutney. We don't just listen to dancehall. We don't just listen to reggae. We listen to a bit of EDM, right? We listen to a little of everything. We out here, we hear Haitian music. We got a lot of folks from Puerto Rico that come. So this is something that is for everybody. And when you start and you drill that into your team, and they start with feeling that this is about everyone,
yes,
that's what you get. That's what you get. And so that's the only thing I can say that's different. We don't differentiate and say this is for Caribbean people, it's not for American. There's so many American folks here who work behind the scenes.
Yes.
There's so many second gen folks who work behind the scenes.
Yes.
And what you see is their pieces coming up. And, you know, in Ghana, we call it a cook-up. In Trinidad, they might call it a pilau. Jamaica, you guys, you know.
Yeah, we have a one pot.
A one pot. And that's what it is. And the ingredients are distinctly Orlando.
Yes. And Orlando is absolutely a melting pot. It's a tourist mecca as well. And so Orlando is different from other cities, I believe, because Orlando has millions, literally millions of visitors from all over the world coming to experience this tourist destination. And on top of that, for them to get the opportunity to, if they are here for vacation, be able to enjoy Carnival, not as this exclusive Caribbean thing where they don't know any of the music or the songs or anything, but at least once or twice they can bob their head to something that they know. I think is really important to the success of Orlando Carnival being in the downtown Orlando space, as Orlando is definitely a melting pot of people from different cities, different countries, and different cultures.
It's true. But you know what I say to folks? We were in that downtown space before it was popular. That was Paramore. It was the hood. Nobody wanted to be there when we were there 38 years ago and helped to build it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the thing. So that's we always show love for Paramore because they showed love for the Caribbean community before we were a thing. Right?
Yes. Shout out to Regina Hill for that too, because she always
listen, we have starting from all the way back with then beat cop Jerry Demings, who is now our mayor, who has been our sheriff, who has been our police commissioner.
Yes.
He is the first person who said, why not? It's different, but why shouldn't we?
Right.
And we have to remember this community here literally had Disney come on board here, around 50 years ago, right?
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you have to look at it and you have to say, all right. And then all these folks who could completely play steelpan and stay very up to date in their culture because they had good jobs as entertainers in the theme parks, then got to be in Pine Hills, be on the West Side, and throw up a carnival. And so we have a very authentic culture here in Orlando.
Definitely.
Because it's fed by our parks.
Yes, it is fed by our parks and actual performers and people who are actually in the entertainment space on a day-to-day basis. I think that's what brings the vibe to in Orlando Carnival, because it is being produced by people who understand entertainment in a way that maybe other places, you know, they're more business people doing an event, you know, paying homage to their culture. Nothing on them. It's just what makes Orlando Carnival so different from all the other carnivals I've been to around the country and, dare I say, around the world. It's just a totally different experience. I've experienced a lot more of this small island vibe here at Orlando Carnival than I have at any other carnival that I've been to.
Because Gypsy, the national chairperson of Carnival Commission in Trinidad, said this to me a couple of years ago, and it made me feel a lot freer about what we were doing. He said a carnival comes up and is about and from the city that it grows in. And our city has an amazingly large, engaged, small island community.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that I got to learn their sound and everything, because I feel like it is closer in a lot of ways to the drums and the African piece. And so I say to folks, when you hear what we're playing and that energy rises and rises and rises, is the drums speaking, is the ancestry speaking, and that crosses culture. It's spiritual and it crosses culture, and it's Indian, it's African, it's Spanish, it's all of that. The drums are what you hear a lot in Orlando Carnival, and so while you see us enjoying it, it's also tapping into us in a major way that I feel we don't have the words to say other than to say it's something special about it. But it's that sound and that energy, and then we're all communing as one and vibing as one. Music is that important. The wrong music actually changes the tone of an event. And so when I tell you we're curating that lift, like right now this year, what you'll notice is we come in, we start with a little bit of groovy in the sound. You'll see we start off more with ding dong and stuff.
Right.
And he is amazing. One of my favorite performers. And then we start going small island and we lift that energy. And if you lift it too much, I don't know, I feel like I could pass out at times. But then this year we have a special segment. We're bringing on our hometown DJs, our Orlando folks, and we're throwing in some dancehall on that main stage.
What?
Okay.
Something for the Jamaicans.
What? Usually we have a separate stage for dancehall, but this year we're throwing it on that main stage and bringing the energy down, but in a different way, because that energy is the dancehall is a vibe.
Oh yeah.
And we have young people that love it.
Yes.
So it's included and it's in a main piece. And our DJs do soca on this weekend, but a lot of them have that dancehall background.
Yes.
And we're bringing that in and fusing it, and then we're going back out to Problem Child and ending there, which is strong small island again, but edgy. So you're hearing my bit of that I do behind the scenes, which is that curation of what people love of that sound. That's the piece that makes it special. And a lot of
what an experience that is. If you think about it, what you're curating there, Guenet, what it sounds like to me as someone who's been in the Caribbean entertainment journalist space for 25 years, I honestly feel like you're introducing Caribbean culture to people who don't know it. You're giving them a little taste of things that they might not have been exposed to. You know, everybody knows the Machels and everybody knows those people. But do you know who Problem Child is? Let's introduce you to who Problem Child is. Let's introduce you to our local DJs. Did you know we had DJs that was this wicked and this bad and can bring this kind of vibe?
The bad.
You know,
exactly.
Like that's the kind of experience that you're bringing and that you're curating here is an experience for, I personally have people in my family who are coming for the first time, who don't know anything about carnival, right? Who are some of my second generation nieces, nephews, and kids and stuff. They're just now walking into the culture, and they're coming. They're masqueraders. They're doing it this year. So for you to have something that will keep their attention and keep them interested is really, really wonderful. I want to pause you there, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, guys, I'm going to get into the meat of the actual events that are happening this Carnival weekend, Orlando Carnival 2025. We are speaking with the lovely Guenet Roberts of GGR Marketing, and she is the chief in charge of the Orlando Carnival experience for 2025 and beyond. We take a break. You're listening to Island Fever Plus right here